There is definitely going to be a rant at the end of this video. However, let's start off with some good news, shall we? Okay. My name is Chelsea. My brother has started calling me Crypto Chels, so you might as well join along. I am documenting all the days throughout January how much my 5 CBRS radios are bringing in for me on the Helium network. I have not done the last couple of days because I got sick and I'm still sick and I may take tomorrow off. But you will still get all of the numbers from me. And I got some extra news today that I was like I need to do something. I put on makeup for this. So let's just make it worth it. We're gonna have a rant, okay? Okay, let's start off with some good news. First off, I wanted to say that looky, we have about 60 subscribers on here. I'm so happy to have you all. And as I promised on my most recent video, that when we get to about 100 subscribers, I would like to do it at a nightly thing as a live stream. I think that would be a lot of fun. So if you are still watching and you want to start doing kind of a live stream at the time when all of the tokens become available for the Helium network, go ahead and subscribe. It'll be great fun, I promise. Moving on. All right, as promised, so today we are looking at January 7th. I will go back and do the 6th and the 7th as well. So between the 6th and the 7th, they're very similar. Just because the price of the token was very similar. However, it did kind of go up from the day before. So that was an interesting thing. So let's look over here. So the 3 radios, I ended up getting about 7,400 per. The day before, I'm not exactly sure what happened with this one. It might just be the fact that, I don't know, something happened with the call and response system for the radios. Maybe not. I'll have to go ahead and look at that. But then we also have late over here, it actually went up from how many it had been going down to. So I'm very interested to see why. That means that each one of my radios has been making about 2,400 over on this side, and for my second deployment, they're making about 2,700. And altogether, that ends up being about $32 to $37. Now, if I were to take this at an average, so far in the month of January, I have made about $42.54 per day. Now, I'm looking at here and it's just saying we've gone down. But that's not a surprise if you've been watching everything. Here's what I find as a bit of a solace is that I really do believe that we have found the bottom of this market. As you can see over here, we dropped down to 23.45. However, it bounced and rebounded right away. And so right around here is the bottom. And we have been kind of going up and down around there this entire time. So that is good to know. So it is really only up from here from what I can tell. So going back, if I were to have sold all of my tokens on the day at the time of their release, I would have been up $297.76. However, I am not. So, wah wah, I'm down about $42.03. It's fine. The thing is, I really am bullish on the coin, on the token, over the long haul because we did have a big thing that started today, which is the burning of $10 worth of mobile tokens every time a new Wi-Fi or radio is deployed. So that will add some sell and burn pressure, which will help, especially as these last several batches go out. They have been on standby from what I have seen, and when they all start going out, more and more people are going to be deploying them on the same days, which means that the buy and sell pressure will be fluctuating, and that means the price will go up on those days. There will be a drop thereafter every time a wave of these deployments stop. However, going up into that, we should be able to get some good momentum. That also means that the individuals making the tokens for the proof of coverage is going to go down significantly over the time. So the amount of tokens that you receive goes down, but the actual price of the tokens will go up during that time. Now, if you're looking at a steady upward trend, I think over time, maybe over the next year or two, there will be a definite upward trend. I'm not exactly sure what to look forward to in the immediate future, though, which leads me to my rant. I would like to give a shout out to Justin Case for pointing this out to me, and this actually was the thing that made my blood boil just a little bit. And so this talks about HIP 101 equalizing proof of coverage rewards across Wi-Fi and CBRS radios. Basically, the new Wi-Fi radios are only like $250. And so you buy them, you put them in your house, and all the data that you have from your phone is supposed to be used from those Wi-Fi devices. Now, I was unaware because I did not have a phone that was using this service up until about 3 days ago, that because I have these CBRS radios, they absolutely do not cover any of the data that you go through. At least the handoff and the transition between T-Mobile and the radios is not clear. The CBRS radios currently provide less utility on the network. Specifically, there is no immediate solution for the Android phones to seamlessly hand off data sessions between macro network like T-Mobile and the CBRS. There is a way to do this with an iOS device, but so far it only works on the iPhone 13 Plus and requires an additional SIM card or geofencing on the phone by the end user. So if I wanted to be able to get the data credits used off of my CBRS radio, I would have to have a 13 plus iPhone, and I would have to do the extra work of creating a geofencing within this blah 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 blah. And honey, it's not going to happen. And they go off and say the hotspots solve all of this above, therefore providing more utility for the Helium Mobile network, yet are currently compensated for the POC proof of coverage based on the modeled coverage, which calculates reward purely in terms of geographic coverage and gives no consideration to the greater overall utility of the Wi-Fi. Now, I would say sure, if the fact that I only have access to this 20% proof of coverage, while those Wi-Fi also have access to the proof of coverage and the data. So that's 40% more coverage than what I am able to give, even though my radio goes farther and does provide a utility for the actual phone itself. What I'm saying is that this HIP needs to be changed. In fact, it should go in the opposite direction. There should be more proof of coverage allotted to the radios, since they do offer more coverage as far as distance and geographics. But because we don't have any access to the data hotspots, that's 40%. I hope I'm making sense with this. I just want to make sure it's known that I am totally for the service. The service is great as far as I get $20 unlimited, and that's wonderful to be able to share with people. If you still haven't gotten yours, you can use my referral link in the bottom below. But once again, go ahead and subscribe. We'll jump back in on this when I have more clarity of mind. But in the end, that's what I want to remember. HIP 101 is garbage. And I'm tired. And I think I'm going to go back to bed now. As the week goes on, I do plan on looking into other projects, so please send me deals.